as they start to count it down here in Tampa, and the UND bench starts to celebrate a victory here tonight. North Dakota believed it, they earned it, and now they're going to raise it. North Dakota wins it 5-1 and their 8th national championship.
I don't know too many better lead-ins than to make sure that Brian Faison, the athletic director for the University of North Dakota, who is joining us right now, comes in with us. Brian, good to have you on News and Views.
It's good to be here.
Full disclosure, I've got Jack Michaels, the voice of your football here. I've got Dan Hammer, who can't be any more familiar with UND Athletics and what he is, in studio with me as well. Brian, we are very proud of the fact that you have selected us as your Fargo affiliate to UND Athletics. I want to thank you, sir.
Well, I appreciate that, and we're excited. We can't wait to get started.
It's going to be a good day. Jack, you're as close to this football team as anybody I know. Now we've got them all right here on the Mighty 790.
Yeah, it really is fun. Good morning to you, Brian. Good to hear your voice on News and Views and across the statewide network. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great, and it's good to know we're going to have snacks in the box. It's important. That's not an unimportant factor.
This affiliate agreement has changed my name from Jack to Snack Michaels.
For those that don't know, Jack has been very, very good about bringing snacks to the press box when he's doing games, and we've been able to partake and enjoy.
Yeah, we like to think we bring the passion on that football broadcast. I know the truth. It really is about the Charleston Chews and the Zagnuts and the Chuckles bars that come
might be those red licorice things.
Oh,
too.
That's the other one too. We're awfully excited, Brian, and certainly for me that have been involved in your football program now for a number of years. It is really neat to marry the company and the stations that I work for as an affiliate in Fargo-Moorhead for UND Athletics and hanging out with Hammer. I've been listening to Danny and watching you do hockey, and this is really a neat day, Dan.
Well, let's make sure though. Don't mention my name with hockey on radio, because rest assured, UND hockey fans, Tim Hennessy is the play-by-play voice of UND hockey. We got to make sure that's clear, Brian, with everybody out there.
Yeah,
because
you're right, Dan.
Tim is a giant in the industry, and fans. Tim Hennessy and UND hockey are synonymous with each other, and that will continue to be the case with our partnership with you, Brian, here on KFGO.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've used the term with him, iconic. We did have to talk about what that meant. But, no, he's as good as it gets when you talk about hockey broadcasts. So yeah, we're excited. We're going to be able to keep him in the mix too. So what a great number of people will have involved, and a great way to expose the program in an even different way and expand that market for us, particularly in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
Brian, I want to put it in reverse a little bit here. I want to go back to a date that I didn't like doing what I had to do. At the time we were involved with NDSU Athletics, Jack Michaels was calling your football games, doing an absolutely great job for you. I put Jack in my pickup. I said, we got to go to Grand Forks because I needed him. Scott Miller was sick. I needed the best insurance policy I could get. Jack, being the team player he was willing to do that for us. The way you handled that, Brian, the classy way that you understood through contractual agreements and everything else what we had to do, I always want to thank you for that, because we knew it was just a matter of time before Jack Michaels was back in that UND broadcast booth. But I do want to thank you for the way you handled that day.
Well, I appreciate that, Joe. And I would say we're the kind of business where things circle around in interesting ways all the time. And you just want to do the best you can, and you want to do what you need to do to take care of business for your interests. But a lot of times those don't have to be necessarily direct competes or a drag on another circumstance. And, it just worked out, and we didn't like it, but we knew it was something that really needed to be entertained, and we're glad it worked out the way it did. And, we're glad to have Jack back.
Well, let me take it to here because a lot of people don't understand how some of this works. The contract for UND Athletics came up. We really wanted to make a push because we felt, Brian, that as your affiliate in Fargo, we could take you to a different level. We could put more of your programs on air, give people access, not just to, as you know, UND hockey, which is so high profile, UND football, where Bubba has grown this program into national respectability and hopefully a playoff chance and run this year. But you've got quality programs in UND men's basketball, women's basketball, and we can meet the demands of all of that. And my guess is that weighed in on your decision to go with us.
Absolutely. Well, those are important sports for us, and we wanted to make sure that we could get ourselves in a position where all the games would be on, and that's part of what made this an attractive situation for us. Absolutely.
The other thing I would add, and I'm saying this directly to Jack Michaels and Dan Hammer because your workload just got heavier, is the fact that the relationship you have with the coaches of the programs that you know best. I think that the permission that we got from UND Athletics to be able to continually have access to the coaching staffs and to do coach shows and to do caller-driven shows. I mean, Jack, that's a real opportunity for you this fall.
It is. And when you look at Bubba Schweigert and Brian Jones, or whether it be Travis Brewster or Brad Berry, and the accessibility of these coaches. I just sat at a diner last Friday with Bubba Schweigert going over a two deep in player personnel while he ate a bowl of chili and I had a hot hamburger. I mean, that's about as that's a true story. It's up 32nd in Grand Forks. But those of you people that were at the shop watching us eat, that's what we were doing right there, just talking football and talking sports and talking life a little bit. Their accessibility is tremendous. I have Brad Berry on my program here a little bit later on. Dan, I know you've got coaches on too. But that's what it is at North Dakota, and that's what I found out. You know, a lot of people, you know, when I first took the job at the University of North Dakota can say, how can a guy who lives in Fargo that played baseball for the other school going on go and do that? And then you meet the people that you travel with. And Dan, I bet you can say the same thing. Brian just talked about snacks. You know, it's kind of wink, wink, ha-ha, but that's the truth. We share a lot of food. We share laughs. We share stories over there. And what you find out, Joel, is that this institution is full of great people, fantastic coaches, people that care about you. They didn't have to accept me at the University of North Dakota. That could have taken forever, but those people weren't like that. It was the other way around. It was open arms. It was nothing but fist pounds and hand pounds and back. You know, it was really kind of a nice experience. So I'm looking forward to jumping back in that for this upcoming season. Fantastic people and accepting people at the University of North Dakota.
The other thing I would add, Dan Hammer, I don't think you're going to mind at all if you allow callers access to a Brad Berry on your show.
Not at all. And I know that Coach Berry will welcome that as well. I've had the opportunity to have Coach Berry on several occasions since I came to KFGO during the hockey season following the national championship. Coach Berry obviously knows that he's a big-time extension of the program to our listeners. Coach Schweigert gets that, Coach Jones, Coach Brewster. So, yes, indeed, they're willing to speak with their fan base. They're willing to take the easy questions and the tough questions.
And I think that footprint is going to extend beyond the Jack Michaels show or the Dan Hammer show or News and Views, where a little bit later today we're going to get a chance to visit with Brian Jones, head men's basketball coach.
But you got a tall chair, by the way? He's like 8 feet tall.
I've met him once. It was like hanging around with too tall Tom Szymanski. But I want to say this. It'll extend into our nighttime programming here too. When we made a commitment to Brian and his athletic program, it was a commitment to using the power of the Mighty 790 KFGO in ways that can extend everywhere it can possibly go and through its network and family of stations into places where if people want one of those products, they can get it. And Brian, with all due respect, I think we're unique in the market that way. I think that we can do something for you here that good quality broadcasters don't have the capability of doing because we have such a big extension of family and because we have professionals like Jack Michaels and Dan Hammer working for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's why we're so excited, Joe. I mean, it's there's a lot more to this than just some of the simpler things, and we're excited to be a partner with you guys, and to have the opportunity to frankly expand on not just exposure, but exposure of our sports programs in a way that, frankly, to this point, we really haven't had that opportunity.
And it starts in the fall. It starts right away. It's going to start well before the fall. Heck, it's going to start for me right here today, right now. But Jack Michaels, how itchy are you for football season?
Itchy indeed. Stony Brook is the number one. Now, when you talk to Bubba, don't ask him about Bowling Green. Don't talk about the University of South Dakota. Don't start diving into the Big Sky Conference schedule. Begin with Stony Brook and stop there because it starts out there in Long Island. Coming up in that first football game. And this is a team and a fan base that should feel optimistic about North Dakota football. They were on the come, and I'll say it here first. This team got snubbed in a playoff spot last year. They should have made it to the postseason, Brian, and you know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so the foundation is built. They are building something very strong, and this is a team that plays defense in the Big Sky. Go figure. Everybody thinks the Big Sky is all about spread out, wide open offense, Nintendo-like, and it is. But Bubba Schweigert and his staff, and he's got a lot of good OC, good DC. He's got a football team that is going to pride itself defensively, hard-hitting, smash-mouth football, and he's got skills offensively. One of the best running backs in the Big Sky Conference coming back in Santiago. So it's a team that's going to put a great product on the field. What you need to do, though, is fill the Alara Center and then bring your ears along and tune into the game. If I can get a cheap radio plug in there, bring your ears along and tune in.
when during Bubba Schweigert's press conference when he was announced as head coach, but one of the things that Bubba said that sticks out with me to this day, and I think will stick out with fans moving forward now as the team returns to national prominence, is that we know who we want to be. We know how to get there, and we know the type of players that we need to be who we want to be. And that's Bubba's approach to the program. It doesn't matter if it's 2016, 2020, 2015. Bubba knows who his team needs to be, who they want to be, and they're going to do that year in and year out.
That's exactly right, and that's why football fans should be excited about that. Hockey schedule just got completed. That came out yesterday.
Great freshman class coming
Madison Square Garden. How about having that West Regional hosted again here in your backyard? I mean, there's a lot to be excited about. And the women's program, Travis Brewster is a great coach that gets involved in his program. These people are
been dominant.
They have been dominant, and they do it with a lot of local kids too that you're familiar with. And Brian Jones. I mean, they've been on the cusp of that Big Sky tournament, making that big dance. So I mean, it's really kind of neat for us to be able to provide that through our channels. And I know today, Joe, you're talking about KFGO, but this affiliate agreement bleeds in. We've got 6 fantastic radio properties here in Fargo-Moorhead, one of them being our brother station, 740 The Fan, that is the 5th largest daytime signal in the country. So we're excited about that on the other side.
Chase Miller, program manager for 740 The Fan, is in studio, as excited as anybody possibly can be.
I'm going to ask Kyle Dobrowski to host his own 4-hour show.
There'll be a little volleyball involved if he's hosting a 4-hour show.
Thursdays with Kyle. I'm just spitballing here, but no, I'm just kidding.
Brian, this does need to end, though, with a thank you. You're taking a risk on us. I think that we bring something to the table with veteran UND broadcasters, as we're showing you right now. The dedication that you're going to see us put towards exposing UND athletics in a way that makes sure that all UND alumni, UND fans, and the state of North Dakota and western Minnesota and South Dakota, the dedication you're going to see us put to that product is going to shine through. And for my money, Brian, you made a good move, and we're happy to be on the team.
Well, again, thank you, and can't wait to get her going.
All right. Thank you, sir. Brian Faison, Athletic Director for the University of North Dakota. Jack Michaels, Dan Hammer, get busy. Your hours just got increased. I'm glad you guys are salaried, by the way.
That's right.
Glad you guys are salaried.
You're laughing on that one, aren't you?
I am, because I've been working on this maybe behind the scenes for a long time, and I'm just glad you guys are salaried.
No, I'll reserve. You are our boss. I'll be nice. You are our boss. I'll be nice.